In my journey on becoming a good content creator, my goal is to create and upload one video per day on whatever topics or discussions I feel like talking about. And today's topic are the events that led me into creating Neon Elements. It all began when I was born. No, I was just kidding. That's way too far back. It was around the time I was going to community college. At the time, I really was a nobody. All I did was stay inside and play video games and watch a whole bunch of anime. One day on campus during a vendor fair for those of you who don't know, is an event where vendors come and set up their booths and tables to showcase and sell their merchandise. While on break from class, I had stumbled upon a booth that was selling anime merch. Things like keychains, posters, body pillows, all the sorts. And being the enthusiast weeb that I was at the time, my curiosity led me to walk in the booth and browse its wares. While I was in there browsing, minding my own business, I was suddenly approached by the owner of the booth. His name is Hua. Hua was very kind and energetic. He was able to engage in conversation with me. Keep in mind at this point, I was very socially awkward. I spent most of my time locked behind my room, so essentially my social skills were non-existent. I forgot exactly what we first talked about, but that didn't matter because soon I was engaging with him in conversation, and eventually it led to me standing in a group with people that all had a shared interest, which was anime. And this was something that I wasn't used to because coming from the last years of my high school, I was pretty much a loner. I didn't have much people to talk to or share or express things, so this was definitely a welcome experience. From that day, I had made a couple of new friends, as well as Hoa, which I started to see more frequently as time went on. Hoa was a self-taught entrepreneur. I remember the stories he would say about how when he was in high school, bringing candy bars to school and selling them to the other kids to make money. It was very fascinating to me because I had a similar experience growing up, selling things on eBay or Craigslist at the age of 13. Things like my old used iPod or old game consoles. I did all that while I was very young, so it was something that was natural for me, I guess. So hanging out with him all the time, I naturally started to take a liking to him. He soon became a person that was important to me in my life, such as a mentor. He was the owner of his very own business that sold anime merch. Not only did he do vendor fairs at college campuses, but he also did large anime conventions. He had been doing this for many years leading up to this point and was very successful. And on top of that, he owned his own alteration shop where he sewed and hemmed people's clothing. Conveniently for me, this was located less than a 5-minute walk from campus, literally down the street. This was really cool because I was able to go straight to his shop right after class and sit in on him while he worked, at the same time listening to him tell his stories and experiences of entrepreneurship in his business. It was then at this time I started to figure out what I was interested in. It wasn't school or going for something I didn't know what I was doing. It was becoming an entrepreneur. Fast forward 1 year, and at this point I felt like I had wasted a year at community college. But oddly enough, it wasn't a total waste because of the experience I learned and gained from Hoa. I felt like that alone was extremely valuable in the direction on where my life has taken up to this point. One fateful morning, I walked into a shop and I claimed to him that I wanted to start selling stickers. Around this time, I had been in a Facebook group called Anime Sticker Central. And within this community were people that came to post their anime artwork or their products for people to buy, or to ask advice, ask questions, anything to do with anime stickers. I had absolutely no idea where to begin, but I knew I was curious on the idea and first wanted to bring it up to Hua to see what he thought. When I brought up this idea to Hua, he must have seen the spark in me because he immediately jumped into support mode to help me achieve what I wanted to do. So much that he went out his way with his own money to buy me a Silhouette Cameo 2. And to this very day, I am very grateful and appreciative that he did that because I was able to start learning how to make stickers myself. Once the Cameo came in, that's when my true journey began. I started to spend time learning how to make paper stickers. Before that, I was also interested in vinyl decals because at conventions I would see a vendor sell them, bought them myself, and I wondered, what if I could make these and sell them to people as well? So I learned that too. I did this for a couple of months, learning the ins and outs of how to make paper stickers and vinyl decals. I also spent time learning Photoshop, which helped me greatly down the line. Then came the day where Hoa asked me if I wanted to do my very first convention. It wasn't anything too big like Anime Expo, but it was a local con called Anime Con. He had a friend that he knew that had extra space at a table and wanted to give to someone, so that someone was me. I was very reluctant at first to jump on the offer simply because of my fears and doubts stopping me. Thoughts such as my insecurities of my appearance or my social awkwardness or whether or not my products were good enough. All these thoughts made me not want to go through with it. Hoa picked up on this because at first he was giving me the choice, but eventually he saw my fears and then insisted and demanded that I do it. And at that point, I knew that I had to give it a try and just stop making these excuses in my mind. And in the end, I decided to swallow my fears and give it a try. And I can tell you guys right now that it is probably one of the best decisions I've made in my life. The 2 weeks leading up to the event, I had to prepare the products that I was going to be selling. At the time, I had only accomplished making stickers from Overwatch. And how I did that was pretty much screenshotting the images from the game itself and going to Photoshop and removing the background. Now, before you say or think anything, yes, I know it's illegal. Yes, I know it's a bad thing to do. Taking someone else's art and selling them as your own for profit, it's a definitely big no-no and highly frowned upon in the community. At the time, I was brand new to this and I didn't know what was right or wrong. I mean, I should have known better, but honestly, I just thought it was okay. But that was obviously not the case, and I didn't know the repercussions of my actions. Now, I do understand that principle and make sure to do my best to not take or steal anyone else's artwork and to commission other artists to make art. Back to the story, not knowing this at the time, I did not stop at Overwatch. I pretty much just went to Google and typed up anime, pretty much just rip it and put it into sticker form. That was what I did. I know, scummy, but I did. To me, there's many lessons to learn in life, good or bad. And in someone's eyes or perspective, they can see this as a bad one, obviously, but you could also see it as good, that I learned how to create stuff and learn how to the bad outweighs the good in this situation, but still, I learned to not take art and to commission artwork rather than just take someone else's work and put it out there for me to make profit. So yeah, come the weekend of the event, I had my little setup, my little booth table with the stickers I had, and I was preparing myself for the very first event and weekend that I'd be selling stuff. My nerves were extremely high at the start of it. I didn't really know how to feel, but slowly and surely it built up, one person after the other buying the stickers. It was surprising to me the things that I made were being bought. To say the least, I wasn't super focused on the stickers itself. I was just more trying to keep calm and keep my composure since I was so nervous, since again, I had very terrible social skills. So just having to be behind the desk talking to another person, it was very anxiety inducing, but I went through it and I'm very happy for that experience as well. It was a 3-day event and I had to endure it for 3 days. It wasn't so bad, you know, it actually turned out really good at the end. In the end of that weekend, I made $500. And to me, I had never made that much money in a short amount of time, ever in my life. That experience was so eye-opening, it was so different, got me motivated to keep continuing doing what I was doing. And more of it I did.